Hello, I just wanted to make this small video to show how I take on AXL, the new boss in Grounded. Now, a lot of this may change once it comes to full, but right now in the playtest, this is what works for me. So first off, I'm going to show you what I'm build here. And what you want to do is make sure I have heal bosses for your mount. I had Chunky Hedgelord for trickle regen and Chunky Lady for max health. I've actually already put the max health one on. And then the Poach Roach is exactly what you want to get it. You can get that in the terrarium down around here. You'll find a note. It'll have it in there. It's pretty much roach heads, slime, ever troll chunks, and I forget what the fourth thing is. And then he's located over up in this corner here. Basically, you want to put that stuff together, summon him like any other boss you would. Okay, and then for mutations, I use Blade Master, Parry Master, Trapper Peeper, Cardio Fan, and Mithridism. And I'll show you what those do. Mithridism, you'll get your Venom Reduction and Resistance. Comfy Energy and Comfy Defense are good, so make sure to sleep first. Max Health from, I already took the Lady in Red. And then Lucky Axle for rubbing the statue for better drops. Lifesteal you'll get from the Mosquito Needle, which is my weapon. The Aegis will give me heavy shield, so it'll always at least won't take as much stamina, and you'll fully block. Rogue Armor will give you 3-hit combos, increased crit chance, and that's very, very important. Because you actually get crit haste, which every crit gives you chance for increasing. Your parry will actually heal your buggy, which is why this is important. And your critical hits will actually recover health over time as well. And then finale damage from Astonishing Acid for more damage. That's the trinket that I found works for me. And then Blade Master, you'll get, they'll inflict less damage, which is important. You'll actually remove your recovery timer for stamina, which is very important. Hyper Stamina Exhaustion will do the same thing in case you don't get it for Sword. Hyper Stamina and Parry Master for more stamina as well, and Perfect Blocks giving you stamina. So that's mainly the build here. Like I said, this is the items. And then what you'll do is you get on your buggy, go ahead and summon him. He'll actually appear over here. Make sure to peep him if you haven't already. And then he'll jump down. You'll just want to go ahead and charge him. He has 3 phases. In this first phase, it's mainly just 3-hit combos, and he'll attack with his legs. So basically just keep on him, try to block perfect blocks as much as possible to help out your mount, and just basically you want to wail on him until you get him stunned, which because you're using the needle, you're not going to get too much stun from the weapon, so perfect blocks are also important for that. And you'll just keep going at him. You actually won't get any venom in this first phase. That'll come in later phases, so you can swap it out if you find something more helpful. But basically, you'll just keep going. Like I said, you're not going to do a lot of damage with this weapon, especially right now since we can only upgrade things to 3. But I'd mainly use it for the small amount of health for each attack, which is important later when you start doing massive damage. You'll heal more as well. So just keep going at him. Once he drops, make sure to back away because you can get stuck. And then what you'll do is you'll actually switch defense to Trapper Peeper and just start wailing on those back. That'll do massive damage. And then you just keep going until he gets down to about around here, and then you can't do any more damage, so drop him off. Make sure as soon as he drops you off, swap back to your defense. And when he roars, that lets you know you're good to go. So there you swap to your heal bossa, call over your mount, and heal him. And then make sure to swap your weapon back before you get on your mount, because sometimes things get buggy, and I've had it to where I can't attack anymore. And then you just kind of sit here and you wait for him to pop back up out of nowhere. And then in this phase, he has a new attack where he'll do that. You can't block it, so dodge it. And then sometimes he'll jump at you, sometimes he won't. And then he'll also now have a 4-hit combo instead of 3. And it's important because that 4th hit now will start doing venom if he gets you with his pincers, so just be careful. And you'll basically go through this whole phase, and you'll just rinse and repeat until he's finally down again. And then, like I said, just keep up as much perfect parries as possible. Just every little bit helps. Like I said, you're not doing a lot of stamina, or you're not doing a lot of stun. So just any way you can get that stun, and then the best way is those perfect blocks. So just keep going, eventually he'll drop, and then hop back up, and rinse and repeat with your mutations. And then sometimes you can get lucky in this second phase. If you just kind of keep pressing forward as you're hitting him, sometimes he can't knock you off. If you get too far close to his head, he'll knock you off. But sometimes you can kind of just keep going at him. Just try to do this as much as possible. Because like I said, you're healing with it. You're doing massive amounts of damage. And you want to keep doing this until you get him to his third phase. And that'll be the final phase. And like I said, just off trapper, turn back on defense, and just kind of keep watching him. And like I said, just much as you can do those perfect blocks, make sure you do them. One thing to note while we're getting him down here is if he goes to do the hair attack, he will just constantly keep avoiding you, and you can't get close to him. So if you notice that's happening, if he's trying to do the hair attack, just kind of back off, and eventually he'll do the hair attack, and then you can kind of jump him again. A good idea is just get on your buggy, because then you can charge him. But we'll just keep going here until we get to the third phase. Alright, once again, swap, and just keep going at it. Now, once you get to the threshold for it, you actually can't do any more damage, so you might as well just back off. And at that point, go ahead and you can switch to your heal bossa, and just start healing your buggy while he's doing his stuff. Sometimes it's best to get away from him until he starts going to the ground. A good thing is, if you're actually on your mount and he does the stun, it doesn't actually stun you, but it will stun your mount, so that's perfect time to get back on. Just constantly call your buggy over. Now this part's important. In this phase, you'll actually notice a bunch of caterpillars drop. You want to try and attack as many of these as possible, because this is how he's going to heal. So the more you can kill before he can do it, the less he can heal. So you just grab that one. So you just kind of want to watch. He'll pop out a random one. And then after he gets 2 of them, then a bunch of enemies will drop. Now this used to be a good way to cheese him, but they've already patched it out. But once all the enemies drop, it used to be to where as soon as the caterpillars were done, he would actually pop back out. And then all the enemies would attack him because he would aggro. But he doesn't do that anymore. I think they've fixed it, so you won't pop back out so you can attack him until you kill all the enemies. So a good thing to do is just kind of like get the enemies to roam around. Eventually, like, they get close enough and he will attack them. But if you're finding he's not, then just kind of find an enemy, either aggro him, and then just kind of move away, because that will down your buggy, and it'll probably pretty much down you too. Sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out where he is, or where an enemy is, because sometimes the scorpions, because after a while they don't aggro you anymore, they just kind of wander around. So just keep attacking, be wary of where he might pop up, which right now is kind of glitched to where he'll kind of full model will pop up before he pops out, so it kind of gives you a heads up. See right here, I'm like not sure why he's not popping up anymore. And then I notice there's still a scorpion over here, as you can probably see. So that's the problem, is sometimes like there's just an enemy left somewhere and they won't aggro, but and then they're not close enough for him to automatically grab them. And then so just attack him. You can try and kill him yourself. It doesn't really matter if you kill him or he kills him, because you don't get anything for it. And then he'll pop out, and this will be his only new attack, is he'll bum rush you. You can't block that, so don't try. Now this is the part where it's going to get kind of hectic. Make sure your mutations are proper, and go ahead and take a lady in red here again, because you want that increased health, because all of his attacks now are going to start doing venom. And if you don't perfect block, that venom will shoot up very quickly. Like I said, with these spines, dodge them. Otherwise they'll do venom. Like I said, everything does venom except the bum rush is the only one that doesn't do venom, but you can't block it, so try and dodge it anyway. And then just kind of wail on him, just kind of keep an eye on your health, and perfect block as much as possible, because anything short of a perfect block will hit you with venom, and that venom's going to hurt a lot. As you you can see here, like, he got me too many times, and then you get your weakness up, and then he just starts wailing on you. So I had to use a lot more healing here than I really intended. But yeah, so basically just rinse and repeat. Block as much as possible so you don't get that venom. Keep up with your heals, and eventually you'll stun him again, and then generally by the time you get the stun in this phase, he'll probably be done. Unless you, like I said, I've gotten very unlucky before and he's fallen on top of me, and then if that happens, you have to wait for him to get up, so then you kind of lose your ability to get that crit spot. And here we go, and then this is pretty much it. Like I said, just kind of make sure everything's good to go and just wail on him, and generally, like I said, as soon as you get the last stun in this phase, he's pretty much done. Just keep going. If there are any enemies around, they will attack him, and then all of them die immediately as soon as he does. Yep, as soon as he's down, go ahead and loot his corpse. You'll get fangs, chunks, venom, and talons, and if you're extremely lucky, you'll get a trinket. I have not managed to get it yet. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how I've done with AXL. So thank you and have a good day.